Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here for Never Ever Met's Season 1, Episode 8, called Those Tables Be Turning. We're on Episode 8, y'all. I don't even know how many episodes there are going to be of this Season 1. Does anyone know? We got to be coming towards the end, so maybe there are only going to be about 10 episodes because it looks like we are getting towards the end here. And the name of this episode was The Tables Be Turning, because some tables got flipped. Some tables got flipped on a grandma and grandpa, Aaron and Dymond. And I'm older than them, but I'm still going to call them grandma and grandpa because they act like they're the elders of the house. But this week, the tables got turned on them. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. So much. And as I'm calling my shows, it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion, y'all. I know folks be getting mad at my opinion. It's just my opinion. And like they say, everybody got an opinion just like they got a a-hole. So here's mine. This week, so much was going on, y'all. I said, what is going on? From Chris over here talking about women make bad decisions. Women make poor decisions. How can you be sitting next to a woman, talk about how poor her decisions are, but yet you asking her to choose you? That means she making a poor decision too? Exactly. So I agree with Chris. And I'm going to disagree with him. I'm both agreeing and disagreeing. And what I'm going to disagree on is that women can't make good decisions. Of course, that's ridiculous. But I am going to agree with him on the woman sitting next to him is making a bad one. That I'm going to agree with him on, because Sandia is making a bad decision when they say what? Stick by my side, be by my side. Because she's speaking up, but it ain't getting through to Chris. We come to find out this episode, we're going to talk more about it later on, that Chris has been through a lot. He blaming his whole crazy psyche on this woman. We're going to need to hear from this woman that's been with him for 8 years, because he's blaming her for everything that's wrong with him. And we know it can't be true. We know it can't be true. He's not taking any accountability. He's acting like he was just the model, boyfriend, whatever. And this woman just was, the devil incarnate. That she was just used and abused him. I might have to do a card talk this week, because I saw that little clip of him talking about how he don't want to marry no woman that makes more money than him. We're going to have to talk about that more in depth. I'm not going to talk about that here on this recap, because it didn't happen, but I saw the clip. So any of y'all who haven't seen it, go watch it, because I think maybe that might be my card talk. I ain't done a card talk in a while, but I think I might do a card talk on that, because Chris is acting like he wasn't a participant in none of the stuff that went wrong in his relationship. First of all, Chris, I got a question. You was with her for 8 years. Why didn't you marry her? 8 years and you didn't marry her? Maybe she got tired of it. Maybe she got fed up. Maybe she got fed up giving 8 years of her life away to a man who had no intention of marrying her. Because as we see here, you got some real opinions. Just like we talk about my opinion, you got some real opinions about women. I don't think these opinions with Chris formed because of what happened with that woman. I think these opinions formed before that woman, why he was with that woman. And that's part of the reason why they broke up. That's what I believe. We're going to talk about that too. But we starting off talking about where we left off, which is this whole kerfuffle over Josh, Dymond, and Alexis, or as Josh calls her, that random hoe. Why he call her that? Why he call her that? I tell you what, let me explain my background. Where are we? Where are we today, y'all? Where are we coming through? We coming to you from the wig shop, because I'm going to tell you, I don't know if Dymond's wig is on too tight, that little thing she wear, if it's on too tight, but we might need to get her a better wig that fits a little bit better, because I think her wig is on too tight, because Dymond can't see herself. She can't see herself. I'm thinking the wig is too tight, it's crushing her brain, and she can't think right. That's what I'm thinking. So we at the wig shop, because we're going to have to get Dymond a new wig. Because I also don't understand. People let me know, because I'm not a person who wears wigs at all. I like them. I think they look cute sometimes. But here's my question. I thought when you wear the band, that's so because you're getting ready to go out. You're getting ready for an event. You want to make sure your wig is laid down real nice, your lace. I guess she got her baby hairs and stuff like that. She want to make sure that's nice in place because you want to make sure that when you go out, everything kind of stays in place. I got it. But here's my question to Dymond. Where are you going? Where you got that thing on? Isn't where you going to be on TV? I mean, what are you saving your hair for? I would think that you take that off when you about to be on camera. I mean, Dymond, every time you see Dymond, she act like she about to go to bed. I don't get it, Dymond. I don't get why she walk around with that headband on. You're on national TV with hundreds of thousands of viewers. I would think that's the time you remove the band. What are you saving the band for? Are you going somewhere else bigger or better than being on TV and you saving it for that moment? I don't get it. So we in the wig shop. I know that Dymond brought her daughter on, cute young woman, and she says she does hair. So she might need to give her mama a few guidelines on when and where and how and when not to wear that band around the wig because we've seen it a lot of times. When I saw it once, I said, oh, okay. Twice, okay. But at this point in time, Dymond, it's a little bit too much. But anyway, we got back to us really digging into this story between Alexis, Dymond, and Josh. And I think what I think what Dymond didn't get is, why are you in it? Why are you, so many stories. First of all, Dymond, why are you in it? 2, do we believe the story? I told y'all last week, and I'm sticking with what I believed. And that is, do I believe that Josh had sex with Alexis? No. Do I believe that Josh wanted to go out in the hallway and have sex with Alexis? No. But do I believe that Josh had a sexual conversation that was probably inappropriate and out of line with Alexis? I absolutely believe that happened. Now, did Alexis maybe embellish the story a little bit, saying, yeah, he was actually trying to sleep with me? She could have, because I could see her doing that. But the conversation itself was out of line, out of order, because the very fact that he had to leave the room to have the conversation, and he had to have the conversation not when Shay was awake, tells me it was a conversation that shouldn't have been had. That's what I think. And even Shay admits that the old Josh would absolutely have done it. And she believes there's a new Josh, but I'm not so sure. I believe the old and the new Josh comes in and out. In and out. Remember, that baby he had only 2 years old. So how old can the old Josh be? Just 2 years ago, he had a baby. And I really didn't like Josh's explanation, to be honest with you. He never really said that she lied. I never heard him say she's lying. All he kept saying is, why would I do a random hole like that? I don't know. I believe it. I believe the conversation had. I believe that there was some talking about it whatsoever. He knew Shay would never go with it. So maybe it was never anything that he thought seriously was going to happen, but he had the conversation. For me, that's enough. I just think it's inappropriate. I just think it's really inappropriate. I think it put Shay in a bad position, and I think Shay was embarrassed around it. I do. I think she was embarrassed that her man would engage in a conversation like that. But last week when Shay was talking, she said something very interesting. I forgot to mention it last week. Shay was talking about that's why she likes to date online. Shay was like, that's why I like to date online, because then if some random woman texts me talking about your man was down in my text, I can say, so what? It was online. Online dating is safe for a couple of these women. We know it's safe for Millie, and we know it's safe for Shay, because what she can then say is, well, he's not really my man. So in a lot of ways, what are people saying? They'd rather be a side chick because a side chick doesn't come with any risk. Is that what's going on now? A lot of people think side chicks are winning out here, because see, what side chicks can do is side chicks can feel good that they somehow have sort of lured a man away from the main chick, the wife, the main girlfriend, or whatever. They can feel good about it. And then when that man cheats on them too or does them wrong, they can say, well, he wasn't my man anyway, so I don't have to feel so bad. I guess it's a nice, safe position, so you never have to feel no kind of way. You never all the way in the game, so you can play, you can straddle the fence, you can pay the sidelines. You can mix and mingle with men who are supposedly in relationships. But then when those men do you wrong, you can say, well, I guess we really wanted no relationship anyway, so I don't have to feel bad about myself. I don't have to feel hurt. That's what I think Shay does. I think that's why this moment right now with Josh, where she's considering being the main chick, she's uncomfortable. She's uncomfortable because she's never been the main chick. She has been the side chick for the last 12 years, and she knows it. She knows it, but it was safe for her because what she can do is she can say, well, I'm really just the side chick. I think she knows that. I think that's what Shay knows. And she's trying to move into the role of being the main chick. But what she doesn't want the risks that come along with being the main chick. Because guess what? Anyone in a relationship at any point in time, anybody can cheat on you. A woman can cheat on a man can cheat on a woman. So it is a risk. Love is a risk. But what Shay wants to do is she doesn't want to take the risk, right? So what she does is she's perfectly comfortable being the side chick. That's what I think she's perfectly comfortable. Because what she's trying to avoid is this very moment right here and now when Dymond brought this messy information to you, which Dymond should have never brought the information to her. If Dymond wanted Shay to know, first of all, she should have told Alexis, stop right there. Don't say nothing else. If you got something to say to Shay or tell her, you tell her herself, because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know about it because I'm not going to be the bone collector, the bone carrier, the messy one. Not at all. I'm not going to be that person. I would tell Alexis, you're not going to dump your bad behavior on me and then have me carrying around and then I feel guilty, feel like I'm betraying Shay and all that. Nope. You got something to say, you go say it to her or keep me out of it. That's what Dymond should have done. But Dymond ain't going to do that. Dymond is not going to mind her own business because Dymond likes to mind everyone's business. And she's kind of delusional about it. I mean, when they were calling her on the carpet, when Shay was telling her about herself, her and Aaron, Dymond was coming up, well, I'm going to just leave them over there. Me and you, Aaron, we're going to keep striving and growing, and they're going to go down. They're going to get worse. They act like they're the savior of all these couples. What has Dymond and Aaron really elevated themselves in these couples' lives as if these couples can't get along without them? And if these couples don't listen to them and their guidance, they ain't going to be nothing. They sure do think highly of themselves. When Josh was out there telling the fellas what Dymond did, Millie was up there peeking through the window. She wasn't minding her own business because as we know with Millie likes to get in other people's business too. Millie loves a good fight. And let me tell you, she hates Chris. What's that movie? The old movie, Everybody Hates Chris. Millie hates Chris. You know Dymond's wig ain't wrapped right, or that little band is a little bit too tight. Because when she was coming up with the excuses of why she even had the conversation with Alexis, she was stumbling over her words. She's like, well, what had happened was, this is what Alexis was doing. And she wanted to know about everybody and all this other kind of stuff. And then that's when she kind of told me. And then she was saying, then somebody told me you was getting matching tattoos. Once again, there goes Dymond being in other people's business. And then what she said was, because I heard you was getting matching tattoos, I thought you should have this information. Why? Why are you in people's business, Dymond? I think it's a big problem. I know they kept saying that they believe that Dymond and Aaron are jealous of all the young couples in the house. But I think it goes further than that, y'all. I think it's just Dymond, period. I don't think it's just this show. I don't think it's just Dymond, jealous of the couples. That could be part of it. But I think it's Dymond, period. I think Dymond be all up in the business of her daughter, too. I think Dymond's just a busybody. I think Dymond likes to be up in people's business, controlling people's lives, telling stuff she shouldn't be telling, and being messy boots. I do. I think it's well beyond this show. I think it's well beyond these couples. I think it's what she does, and she likes to do it. Because when they kept telling her to stop, she didn't want to stop. She didn't want to stop. She wanted to keep doing it. She wanted to keep justifying it. She wanted to keep saying, it's your loss. If you don't want me up in your business and being messy boots, you the one that's going to lose because I'm going to be the one that keeps winning. Girl, go sit down and get a new wig. She told Shay, I didn't want you to be blindsided because I knew I wouldn't want to be blindsided. Exactly. You want to know everything. You want to know everything that's going on in your life and everybody else's life. That's why I'm saying this whole idea of being blindsided, this whole idea of not knowing something, this whole idea of wanting to know everything going on in your life and everybody else's life. This is a theme in Dymond's life. This doesn't have nothing to do with just Shay and Josh. This has to do with she want to be everywhere at all times, knowing everybody's business, period. Okay, and she's messy. That's why her sister knows so much about Aaron and Aaron proposing to this other woman, because Dymond likes to gossip, spread gossip, talk about any and everything to any and everybody. It's a problem. It's a lifelong problem. At least Aaron tried to tell her. Aaron would try to tell her, was it your business to really be all up in there doing that? He said, well, not really. I was happy at least Aaron somewhat tried to confront Dymond. But once he saw her pushing back, he fell back. He said, well, you know what? You women going to stick together anyway, so I might as well be quiet. Because Dymond wasn't ready to hear it. Dymond has heard this before from other people. This ain't the first time. This is what I tell people. When you encounter people out in the world, if they are over the age of 30, and if you really believe you are telling these people about themselves, you the first person, no, you're not. People have told these people about themselves. They've just chosen to ignore it. This is not the first time someone has told Dymond this. No, she's heard it and she wants to ignore it because she wants to keep doing what she's doing because it fills her up. It makes her feel good. It's what she likes to do. But they went on to this part of the episode, which was called The Hot Seat. I like this game. This game was good. I liked it. And like I said, a lot of wigs got tightened on this game. Like I said, we in the wig store, a lot of wigs got tightened on this game because a lot of people got gathered up. The first couple they had in the hot seat was Jody and Aaron. I said, well, I know this is going to be good. I know it's going to be good with Jody and Aaron. And it started right away. They couldn't even sit in the hot seat before Jody started doing her little thing. I want to sit on that side. That's the side I want to sit on. Ooh. How can anybody be in a relationship with Jody? Can you be friends with Jody? Is this what it would look like every time you're out with Jody? Everything got to be Jody's way? Because some of the stuff that Jody does, it's not even anymore about is she liking Aaron as a romantic connection. It's just not stuff you would do even to a friend or girlfriend. Everything has got to be the exact way Jody wants it. And what she does is she wraps it around and uses the excuse of about boundaries and her trauma. That's her get out of jail free card. So that's how she gets everybody to do what she wants them to do. That's why she's into this dominatrix. She likes to control every situation to fit exactly what she wants. You can't even pick where you want to sit with Jody. She got to tell you where you got to sit, what you got to do, how you got to act, when you can and cannot do something. This is horrible. This is horrible. She told that grown man, no, that's where I want to sit. And when he said, what do you mean sit here? I'm sitting here. Did she go and sit in the other seat? No, she stood there, looked at him, said it again, and said, that's where I want to sit. And he said, oh, is this your good side? She said, call it whatever you want to call it. That's where I want to sit. And then what did little Aaron do? Little tenderoni Aaron, he got up and moved to the other side so she could sit there. It's hard to watch, y'all. You know what? I don't know if Aaron is acting or if he really is happy with this. And if he's happy with it, then we need to figure out why the heck are you so happy with this kind of treatment? Because this treatment is horrible. This is horrible. It's embarrassing. It's degrading. Period. Like I said, it's not even the way you would treat just a friend. We past saying how you should treat a boyfriend or a love interest. This ain't even how you should treat a friend. The first question was, do you see this as long-term or short-term? Aaron said long-term. Jody said term. Term. With a straight face. Girl, why is Jody still here? Jody must be on here to keep promoting her business, because at this point in time, it's pretty clear she does not want a relationship with Aaron. So why is she still here? If this is so much torture for her, because that's how she acts. She acts like it's torture to be around Aaron. Why doesn't she leave? Because she wants some more camera time. So she's willing to be on this show to continually put this man down, make a fool out of this man, treat this man horribly so she can have some camera time. That sounds about right. Because like I said, Jody is selfish. She's selfish. Her needs are paramount above anyone else's, period. Just like the whole thing that happened with Chris. She didn't care about Sandia's needs. She didn't care about Sandia's feelings. She don't care about nobody's feelings. In fact, later on, when we get ready to get to that part in the therapy session, she pretty much said it. She pretty much says that your feelings don't affect me. If you sad, what that got to do with me? If you happy, what that got to do with me? She has no empathy. She has no care. She has no concern. All she's cared about is her own feelings. Some people will call that symptoms of being a narcissist. Some people might say that. They actually sat up here and talked about marriage is a business deal. What? Love ain't involved. And Aaron was like, yeah, this is the first woman I knew that really agreed with me on that, because Aaron does want a business deal. The business deal is a beard. That's a business deal. He's like, I'm okay that there's no love, that there's no real attraction, because it's a business deal. That's what beards are. It's a business deal. I'll be your beard. You can go and have sex and love and passion and intimacy with the same sex. And I'll be the beard in public. And in exchange for that, we'll have a business that's running well. That we may even have kids together that we really love. We'll have all these things, but they're all just business arrangements, financial arrangements. But my real passion, my real love will be saved for the same sex, because I'm going to look at that as my relationship. But this here with you is just a business arrangement. Like I said, I did agree with Aaron when he said that they think alike. They do. Because Jody ain't there for love. She's not there for passion. And he's not there for that either. He's there for a beard because he wants all those other things in life. But he says, you know what? I'm going to get all that passion and love from somebody else. Aaron. I see through Aaron. You know what? Aaron as a person, I think he's a nice guy. He's a sweet guy. But he really needs to start living his truth. Because you know what? I don't know if you can really have real relationships when, you're lying about, such big parts of your life. I don't know. Jeez Louise. It's getting ridiculous, people. It's starting to get really ridiculous. They said, are you physically attracted? Aaron said, yeah, I'm attracted. And then Jody lied and said she is too. Jody, you just said your lady parts don't tingle. You didn't feel nothing when you guys kiss. So what are you attracted to? You're attracted to the idea that this could be a relationship. You're not really attracted to the relationship itself. You're attracted to the idea, the possibility of one that you could really maybe connect with a man, but you can't. You can't, Jody, as you just said, your emotions are not involved too much in relationships, period. And that's why I also say it goes beyond this relationship with Aaron, because what Jody is talking about, she's talking about the way she moves out here in the world. And she's saying she moves like this with everybody. She herself called herself a man eater. She didn't say she's just a man eater of Aaron. She's a man eater of all men, which means this is how she behaves in all relationships. It's not even about Aaron. We don't even need to make it about the fact that she's not attracted to Aaron, because she herself has told us, no, it has nothing to do with whether I'm attracted to Aaron or not. This is how I move with all men. All men. Girl. This might be the best. This might be the best for Jody, a business arrangement, because I don't know if she's capable of having an emotional, intimate relationship, intimacy with another person. Maybe her best bet for a relationship is a business deal. And maybe that works fine with a beard, because there you go. Maybe that will work fine. And maybe they'll both be happy, providing something to each other that may look different than other relationships, but hey, it works out well for them. We ain't never got to sleep together. We ain't never got to be together. You be my beard. I'll be your security blanket to say you got a partner in life. And then we can get our intimacy and love from a completely different person. like they said, a business deal, a business deal. Then they had Josh and Shay up on the hot seat. And the first question, Shay lied because they were like, do you trust Josh? She said, yeah, I trust him. Girl, no, you don't. You know you don't trust Josh. I know that's the last time Shay fall asleep before Josh fall asleep. She gonna be like, come on in here, go to bed when I go to bed. Girl, we know you don't trust him. I just admit it. You do not trust him. Even when she said, I don't want to introduce him to my mama. That's fine. After 12 years, though, nobody knows about him after 12 years because like Shay said, Shay knew she was the side chick. For 12 years, Shay knew who she was, and there was no need to introduce Josh to anybody because what you gonna do? Introduce Josh and say, I'm Josh's side chick? No. Shay knew who she was for these last 12 years, and she wasn't willing and ready to present herself to the world like that. Absolutely not. Josh said he ready to meet her mama, though. I bet he is. I bet he is ready to meet her mama, but what I want to know is Josh really ready to leave behind all these past ways? I could see Josh and Shay making it if Shay was willing to move to Memphis, Tennessee, because I don't think Josh is going to move to where Shay is. Shay is down in Florida and Josh is in Tennessee. And I don't see Josh moving to Florida. I don't see it. I don't see him leaving his kids. As he said, he's not leaving his children. And I'm not for sure Shay will leave Florida because I don't believe Shay trusts Josh enough to leave Florida behind, her comfort, her security blanket, her family, her mom, all the people that love her, to go with Josh. I don't think she trusts him enough to do that. See, to pack up your life, leave your life behind and follow a man, you got to trust that man. You got to really trust that man. And to be honest with you, she's forgiven Josh for a lot of things, but just because you've forgiven a person don't mean you forget. You can forgive, but you don't always forget. And I think with Shay, she forgives, but I don't think she forgets. So I really don't know how Josh and Shay are going to work out in the end. I don't think, I can see them not really coming together. Will they be together continually doing what they're doing online? Yeah, because I think Shay's comfortable with that. I think that's less risky for Shay, and I think she's willing to do that. But do I think she's going to pack up her life and move to Tennessee with Josh? Nah. Josh just said he was living with a roommate. Can Josh even afford his own living quarters all by himself? I don't see no move coming no time soon. I don't see no U-Haul van pulling up to move Shay from Florida to Tennessee. I don't see it happening. The next couple we had up was Chris and Sandia up on the hot seat. And sure enough, there go Dymond and Aaron wringing their hands. Ooh, we about to get really, really messy. This is love. We love stirring the pot. We love, kicking up the things. What question we gonna come up with them? Messy, messy, messy. You know how you leave your messy boots out on the porch and don't bring them in the house? Well, Dymond and Aaron, they're going to have a whole lot of messy boots out there because that's what they walk in all day long. A messy, messy boots. As soon as they came up there in that hot seat, they went ahead and played them past clips of Chris talking with his chest out, talking about how you ain't really my girlfriend. I flirt with a lot of women. I have a lot of women. And then here he over here trying to help Sandia. Come on, let me help you up, baby, and put you in the hot seat with me. Chris don't know who he want to be. Chris don't know if he want to be the big bravado guy, the Kevin Samuels 2.0, the one that talks about being, the protector, the provider, the leader, the one that says probably the stuff he was spitting to his ex-girlfriend, the one for 8 years that already had the baby. He said he was a stepdaddy then. Kevin Samuels probably broke up that relationship. I bet you Chris started listening to Kevin Samuels and he says, yeah, why am I with you? You already have a child. I'm a stepdaddy. I ain't getting nothing out of this. And then he didn't marry her. And then they ended up breaking up. I heard on that clip that we're going to talk about in the next car video that woman was a paralegal. And then after she was a paralegal, she became a lawyer. She started making more money than him. Started talking about how he wasn't making no money. Or he wasn't making more than her. Maybe that's what made him, grow up and get better and start making some more money. He ought to be thanking that woman, talking about he don't need no woman, and women don't make good decisions. Shoot, let's sound like that woman made a good decision to leave his butt. That sounds like an excellent decision. They was asking what you need to work on. He said he need to work on his communication. He said, because I'm a busy man, and busy people don't have time to be calling women all the time. You just said you be running multiple women. So what you talking about? Which one is it, Chris? Do you run multiple women and have multiple girlfriends? Or are you so busy you don't have time to call people? Which one is it? He says he's an entrepreneur. I tell you, this is one of the biggest red flags out here. One of the biggest red flags of entrepreneurs. A lot of people became entrepreneurs because they can't get along in the workforce. It used to be a time where entrepreneurs were because they want to own their own business. They want to strike on their own. That's the truth. But there's another faction, okay, of entrepreneurs where people are entrepreneurs by default because what happens is they can't get along in a corporate environment. They try to act like it's by choice that they're an entrepreneur, but a lot of times it's out of necessity because Chris strikes me as the person that cannot get along in corporate America. Because how can you get along in corporate America and you walking around talking about women don't make good decisions? How can you have a female boss and you don't even respect women? Chris, you can't work for a woman. You can't work alongside a woman. You can't get paid equal pay from a woman because in your eyes, women are less than you. He can't get along in no structured environment. He can't get along in the environment. He's got to create his own alternate universe. And in that alternate universe, which is his entrepreneurial world, it's where he's the smartest, he's the brightest, he's the one that knows everything. He's always right. And he's got to craft this world because he can't live in a world in which women are equally important, equally as smart, can equally make good decisions. It's really sad to watch. You talk about a broken person, and I know he wants to keep saying he's broken from this relationship. He's putting all the blame on this ex-woman. It's horrible. I always talk to women about what's your breakup story. Chris has one of the worst breakup stories ever because in his mind, it is all that woman's fault, period. He has never admitted or said anything that he did wrong. All he talks about is, maybe because I work so much that I'm not a good communicator. That ain't it. Because I can tell you right now, if that woman is an attorney, she works a lot of hours too. She works a lot of hours. I've never met too many attorneys that don't work a lot of hours. So the idea that he worked a lot of hours, that ain't it. Because I'm sure that woman was working a lot of hours too. He literally is sitting up here talking so bad about this ex and basically saying he wants the complete opposite of his ex. So I guess we can infer from Chris that Sandia must not make that much money or nowhere near close to him because as he says, he don't want to date no woman that makes more than him. He said he wasted he said he wasted 8 years on a woman. Well, why was it wasted? Why didn't you propose? Did this woman not want to marry you? Maybe she didn't. Maybe she got a whiff of who you were and maybe she wanted you to change and you didn't change. Maybe she wasted 8 years on you. Why is it that Chris thinks he wasted 8 years on a woman? Why can't it be she wasted 8 years on you? I think that's more what the real story is. As much as I didn't like what was coming out of Chris's mouth, and as much as I did hear all the stuff that Taronda was spitting out with Chris, I didn't agree with everything Taronda was saying either. Let's be truthful. This whole women are up here, men are up here. I really want us to get rid of that. I really want us to get rid of the debate. Is it women who are better or men are the better? Why can't we just say, and I think in the end she did try to come back to it, that, hey, we need each other. But where she started from was I think she was so upset with what Chris was saying. Her intent was just to put him in his place. So what she did was she elevated herself, Taronda did, and she put Chris down here. And I don't agree with that either, because just like I don't agree with Chris elevating himself and putting women down here, I don't agree with it in the opposite. But, Taronda tried to clean it up later on and say, hey, we need each other. But that's where she should have started. So she lost me a little bit there in the beginning. But who else lost me? Millie. Because Millie really hates Chris. Boy, does Chris trigger Millie. And Millie don't know how to stay out Chris's ass. And really, Millie thinks she's helping, but she's not helping. In fact, what Millie tends to do is she tends to prove points by Chris. She makes herself look bad. The very thing that she was blaming Chris about in that making Sandia pay for what Chris experienced with this woman, Millie's doing the same damn thing to Gregg. So I was like, Millie, girl, be quiet. Sit over there, because the stuff you talking about, we can easily turn these tables back on you because you doing the same thing. Girl, stop. Between Millie and Dymond, be honest with you, they both like to stick their nose in places they shouldn't be. They really need to concentrate on their own healing. They really do. Like I said, some of these wigs is too tight out here. Some of these wigs and weaves, and they just too tight. That's why we in the store right now, because everybody might need to get a new fit, including Millie. Millie need to concentrate more on what's going on with Gregg when they got in the hot seat, and Gregg saying, yeah, I'm a self-confessed womanizer. Ugh, you owning that title as a womanizer? Talking about you getting better? Well, shoot. Call me when you are better. Do I really want to go through your healing from being a womanizer? Gregg, what the hell are you talking about? Talking about he has a proclivity to like a lot of women. Oh, nah, no thank you. No, I would not be hooking up with Gregg when he talking about he's in the middle of trying to stop having a proclivity to date a lot of women. Because we remember, Chris and Millie are in the same city within 30 minutes apart. We still have not heard a good reason of why these two never physically met in the real world. Why was everything online? Is this because Gregg, like he said, has a proclivity to want to talk to multiple women at one time, and it worked out well for Millie because she's so scared over here in the corner. She don't really want to go fast at no fast pace in a relationship anyway. So it was a perfect match. Gregg can sit over here and have a proclivity towards a bunch of women because Millie's so scared over here in the corner. She only want to nibble on a relationship. She don't really require that much because she's too scared. It works out well. He even told her, yeah, he want to be a different man. He wants to be different. He doesn't want to be having multiple women, but it's going to take time. Girl, we talking about Sandia run. At this point in time, Millie and Gregg don't need to be together. Neither one of them are ready. Gregg ain't ready for no relationship. When you use this type of language, proclivity, it's going to take time for me to get rid of this womanizer part of me, then go on over there and keep healing and come back later. And Millie definitely is not ready because Millie snaps on a dime. She says she's trying to get better, trying not to get loud, trying not to, go off all the time. That's good, Millie. I'm glad she's on the road to healing. But at this point in time, if these two were to get together, I don't think it would go well. They would trigger each other and they will fall back into a bad habit that eventually I don't think the relationship can sustain it. They're not far enough along in their healing to be together. Now, maybe they have the desire to, is where they want to be later on. That's fine. That's good. But right here, right now in this moment, nah, I don't see it. I really don't see it. And later on, we're going to talk about their little session with the therapist. I'll talk about that a little bit more. But at least Gregg know her birthday now. Even I know it, June 21st, 1990. Everybody know your birthday now, Millie. Because listen, none of us forget it because Gregg knows it now. You made sure about that. But they was all waiting for Dymond and Aaron to get in that hot seat. They said put they butts in it because what they call what did Shay said? Aaron is a manipulator and Dymond is gullible. I don't know if I agree with you, Shay. Dymond is not gullible. And in fact, I think Dymond is also a manipulator. I tell you, these two are two peas in a pod because I've seen Dymond on several occasions manipulate a lot of people on this show. When she was talking to Shay and telling Shay about the whole thing of what Alexis said, but then the very next minute she was telling Shay to forgive Josh and keep him and have an open mind. I was like, what? You just came over here, threw a bomb in the relationship, but then you over here trying to convince Shay to give him a little more time or work through it. Don't throw away 12 years. Girl, you manipulating situations. I saw another clip where she manipulated her daughter and said, well, if you love me, Dymond uses a lot of manipulation. She tried to manipulate Aaron with saying, you need to agree with everything I say. Otherwise, I'm going to go off on you too. So Dymond uses a lot of manipulation tactics to get people to do what she wants them to do and to also forgive and forget the things that she's doing out here in the world. So when Shay says Aaron is the manipulator and Dymond is gullible, girl, no. Dymond is the ringleader and she's involved just as much as Aaron is. They both involved. They said they ain't never heard Dymond say that she loves Aaron. And they said they called her and said, hey, we ain't never heard you say you love Aaron. What are you in this relationship for? And they go, what do you mean you never heard? I say it. Maybe y'all don't hear it. And Aaron like, yes, she said it to me all the time. And then little tender Aaron came in with a good line and said, so I guess you admitting that people can have feelings for each other behind closed doors, but you don't always see it. And everybody was like snapping over that. It was a good line, Aaron, even though it don't really pertain to you. It was a good line. It was a good comeback, because we know that Jody ain't saying sweet things to you in front of the cameras or behind the cameras. Neither way, it ain't happening. We don't believe it. But you know what? It was good when it came out your mouth and you got a few snaps on that one. But nah, Aaron. Jody ain't never saying nothing nice. Dymond over here telling Shay, well, Shay got trust issues. And Shay was like, well, let me check you right there. First of all, you don't know nothing about me. I never shared nothing about you. So I don't need you speaking on my behalf, telling people about me. If I want to tell people about me, I'll tell people about me. I don't need you to do it. But once again, there was Dymond over there trying to manipulate Shay. Dymond actually tried to manipulate Shay, and Shay thinks Dymond is gullible. Nah, girl. She's trying to manipulate you too. Then she tells Shay, well, Shay is a child. How the heck can Shay be a child, Dymond? Girl. Like I said, that wig is too tight. I'm really going to chalk it up to the wig as being too tight. That's why we're in the wig store. Dymond going to need to pick out another wig, because the one that she's wearing with that little band around the top, it ain't working. It ain't working. It is cutting off the oxygen flowing to the brain, and she ain't thinking right. She is not thinking right at all. Shay was fit to be tied with it too. She was done. What Shay was really mad at was that not only what Dymond did with Alexis, she was mad because Dymond also exposed Shay. You see, like I said, Shay was really comfortable being the side chick of Josh all these years, and that it not get thrown up in her face. But what Dymond did was Dymond threw up in her face that, hey, this is kind of what Josh does. I believe Josh, runs streets. I do believe that. And now what Shay had to do, Shay had to deal with the public embarrassment of it. When before, if Josh did something to her, she didn't have to be publicly embarrassed because she never really told nobody about Josh. But here now, Shay had to deal with the public embarrassment. And I really do believe that's what really made Shay even more mad at Dymond and Aaron. Because we all know they're messy. They shouldn't be butting in where they should be. But for me, Shay didn't even have enough heat for Josh. What Josh did, even though, like I said, I don't believe he slept with Alexis, the type of behavior he was involved with Alexis, I think was out of line, out of order. And I kind of believe that Shay's, the way that she forgave Josh so soon, I think it was a little bit too soon. So now the anger that Shay has, what she can do is she can put all that anger towards Dymond and Aaron. Now, I'm not saying they don't deserve the heat. They do deserve the heat. But I think a lot of the anger is also being transferred to them because she don't really want to put the anger where it really should be, which is why did Josh put her in this position in the first doggone place? That's really where some of it should be. But she ain't got no heat for Josh. She got all the heat for Dymond and Aaron, which is fine because they deserve it too. And this whole thing of Aaron chasing Shay around the house, walking behind her, screaming and yelling stuff at her. Once again, here goes Aaron, once again, willing to scream down a woman. Even when the woman is walking away, this becomes another woman that Aaron is willing to confront. He has confronted and had conversations with and arguments almost with darn near every woman in this house at some point in time. He's really comfortable with it. Him and them painting nails. I don't like it. Because even in this moment, Shay is walking away, yet Aaron is walking behind her, chasing behind her in the house. What is that all about? Like Shay said, this is weird. It's beyond weird. It's a problem. They want to say it's because Dymond and Aaron are old and they jealous of all these other couples. I don't think it's that. I don't think they're necessarily jealous of them. Some people think because Dymond and Aaron want to be the only one that makes it towards the end. I do believe they think they're the only ones with real love. I do believe that. I do believe they think of everybody else as the problem and they not the problem. Yes, I do believe that. But I think part of it is they just think they know every damn thing, period. I don't think it's some big scheme to break up everybody. I just think is that they think they know every damn thing and they want the whole house to believe it too. And they constantly spend their time wanting everybody to say to them, oh yeah, y'all know everything. That's what they really want. I don't know if it's necessarily they want to break up everybody. I just think they want to be the top dogs in the house. They want people to blow their heads up as much as they blow their own heads up. And then the end, after Aaron starts chasing Shay around the house, what does Dymond say about herself? Well, I am the pretty one. Girl, not with that wig band on, you not. Not with that wig band on, Dymond. You're not the pretty one. Not with that on. Take that off. But after all was said and done, the hot seat, Millie and Gregg must have felt good about each other because they made it to the boom boom room. They finally made it to the boom boom room. And it looks like they had a good night. We don't know what happened because Gregg said he gonna be a gentleman. He ain't gonna spill all the secrets, but you can read behind the lines. There was a lot of touching, canoodling going on. So whatever they did because when they both came out, they was both happy about it. So if they happy, I'm happy. Gregg got to do a little bit more womanizing. I guess he's happy. Aaron got to redeem himself after he blew up that spot with the sister for Dymond's sister. He said, I got a second chance to impress somebody from her family. So when the daughter came from Dymond, he said, I'm gonna be on my best behavior. And he did a good enough job to convince the daughter that he really is in love with Dymond. He wants to be with Dymond. He's gonna propose to Dymond. And as we can see in the previews coming up, next episode, he gonna be down on one knee with a cubic zirconia diamond proposing to Dymond. Like I said last week, is it flawless? No. It might be SI1, SI2, and it might be cubic zirconia, but he is down on one knee, so at least he is delivering on the promise he said he was going to do. We got a little bit more information about Aaron. He said he got 7 kids. He's twice married. One was he should have been married at 20 years old, but he did anyway. And the second marriage, he had a pretty, in the second marriage, he was married for 12 years, so he's ready to go in for a third time because it sounds like he's a relationship guy and he likes being in relationships. Like I said, I think Aaron and Dymond make a good couple because I think they actually like doing what each other likes to do. You always say, find somebody where you have something in common with. Find someone where you can share your passion, your joy, hobbies. And Dymond and Aaron's hobby is being messy, and they love it. They love it. They love doing it together. They love being by each other's side. And I think I can see Dymond and Aaron together. Now, this preview of next week looks like Dymond is hesitating on whether or not she's going to say yes to Aaron, yes or no. So I guess we're going to see if Dymond decides to say yes or no to Aaron. But to be honest with you, I can see these two together because they love being messy together. They really could take the world by storm and cause a whole lot of mess out here in the world side by side. But the good thing I like about this show is they brought in a lot of experts to help these couples along the way. I do appreciate that. They've taken a lot of stabs at it. They're trying to help these couples, whether these couples stay together or whether they don't. I think they're at least giving them some information to help them down the road. And Dr. Allie was back, the relationship coach, the relationship doctor, and I think she did a good job. I think she's doing a good job at moving the needle. Maybe at least some of these people will say, you know what? Maybe I do need to go to therapy. Maybe we do need to see a relationship counselor on a more steady basis. I think Dr. Allie is helping to move the needle a little bit, enough to get these people started, like a little starter package, a little appetizer. But that little exercise that Dr. Allie did with Shay, because Shay says sometimes she can release the beast on Josh, that she gets angry and she can go off and she can be impulsive. And Dr. Allie had her sort of calm her inner spirit and pay attention to other physical things that are going on with your body to indicate that you're about to go to the next level. I think that was a very good exercise. I've practiced that in my life too, whereby when I'm feeling a certain kind of way, I pay more attention to little things. I notice, you may get a little ping, you may get a little a twitch in your eye, you may feel a certain kind of way. And all that means is, hey, stop, pause. For me, it isn't necessarily to control my rage or anger because I don't really have an anger problem, But sometimes where my problem had been was sometimes I overgive. Sometimes I volunteer for things I shouldn't be volunteering for. And then I get mad because I feel like, dang, I got too much work. So now what I do is I step back, I pause, I wait before I open up my mouth. I wait before I promise something. I wait before I give so that I can evaluate what I'm about to do. So I do see that exercise really, really works. For whatever it is you have an issue with, I think pausing, getting in touch with yourself helps. So that way, when you do anything, you're doing it from like a better, more grounded place. I think it was growing in your mindfulness. And I think people can grow in mindfulness in a lot of different ways in decision-making period. Whatever decisions you make your decisions with more mindfulness. So when Chris says women are too emotional, no, that's not it, Chris. It's actually about growing in mindfulness. And it's not just an issue with women. It's also an issue with men. It's an issue, period, with people when we make decisions. Sometimes it's better to sit back, think about your decisions, and not be so impulsive about whatever you do. Some people are impulsive spenders. Some people are impulsive in their anger. Some people are impulsive in giving gifts or whatever else. It's nothing wrong with sitting back and being a little bit more mindful before you always take action, because sometimes those actions, if not given the best thought, cannot be the best thing to do. But I thought that was some good advice for Shay. And then the next people she was giving advice to was Chris and Sandia. And she said, tell me a little bit about yourself. And it was very interesting the way that Sandia talked about herself. Sandia sat down and said, I'm passionate, loving, caring, and patient, which I don't think is anything wrong with speaking of yourself in high terms. But it's also something that I've seen with Sandia. I think Sandia wants to be that woman so badly that what she does is even when she's feeling a different emotion, she decides to show up as that woman. Now, is that right? Is it wrong? I'm not going to say it's right or wrong, but what I do say is I think that means that she might also be denying parts of who she is, because she sits next to Chris and lets Chris say all sorts of wild things. But she says, I'm going to be passionate, loving, caring, and patient. Why is she this way? Yeah, I thought that was just interesting that she used those words to describe herself. But here she is sitting in front of a therapist, but I didn't really hear too much about what she wanted to work on. And that kind of bothered me. Like, you're sitting here in a relationship therapist, but you're not talking about anything that you want to work on in the relationship. It's all about what Chris needs to do differently. Either she's denying other parts of herself, or she's just putting on this image of who she wants to be, and that's not the real Sandia. I don't know what's going on with Sandia. Is she thinking that this is because this is the woman Chris wants, so this is the woman she's gonna become, but yet it's not really complete the woman she is? I don't know. It's giving something different. It is definitely giving something different. Chris says he's straightforward. He runs away from his emotions. Duh. We already knew that, Chris. We already knew you run away from your emotions. You don't have none. Chris says he ain't sensitive. That's why he and Jody got along. They both were not sensitive. He says when emotions are too much, he runs away. That's why he and Jody were on the same page. But here's the problem. This is why Jody and Chris wouldn't make a good couple either, because they both don't want to have to give emotions, but they want a partner who gives them emotions. You see, they want what they don't have to give. You think Chris wants a non-emotion woman? No, he keeps talking about Sandia's emotions, but the truth about it is, on the flip side, he starts talking about the type of woman he wants and how this woman has to show how much she's going to be by his side, that she's never going to leave him. Well, that's all emotion. That's leading with your heart. You want a woman to lead with her heart, but then what you want to say is you don't want to have to deal with her emotions. It's two peas in a pod. You want one without the other. You want the benefits of a woman who has a big heart, who has big emotions, who's passionate, loving, and caring. But then on the flip side, you don't want to deal with none of the negatives of having to tend to that woman's emotions. You want that woman to use all her loving and caring and nurturing parts to feed into you, but you don't want to fill that woman up. Well, who's going to fill that woman up? If that woman's always pouring in you, Chris, and giving you what you need, who is pouring into that woman? Her cup is going to run dry. And that's the thing with Chris and Jody. They both want a person pouring into them, right? But they don't want to pour into anybody. Jody loves sitting back, accepting the photo shoots from Aaron, the wine dinners, all these other kind of things. She would love to keep receiving from Aaron, but she doesn't want to have an obligation to give anything back, right? She wants you to get up out your seat and give you the seat because you're caring and you're loving and you're willing to sacrifice the seat so she can sit her butt in it, but she doesn't want to have to do it for you. Jody and Chris are two peas in a pod, but that doesn't mean they work together well, because who would pour into them? They would be so busy trying to extract from each other. Who would pour into them? That's why Chris likes Sandia, because Sandia is willing to pour into him. But now he's sitting here talking about, that's fine, keep pouring into me, but I ain't got nothing to give you. I don't want to fill your cup back up. That's why he's still there talking about he was in this 8-year relationship with this woman and he was all embedded in her family and all this other kind of stuff. And then she up and left. Well, there you go. You sitting over there receiving everything from her family, right? You embedded, she shared her family with you. She shared her child with you. She was pouring into you, but you sitting over here not wanting to do nothing. You didn't want to marry her. You didn't want to pour into her. She probably was lonely, broken, and empty. She spent so much time pouring into you. You didn't pour nothing back into her. And then you wonder why she get up and walk away. Don't no woman get up and walk away from no relationship in which she's fulfilled and her cup is getting full. She walked away because her cup was empty and you wasn't willing to put nothing else in it. But all you could talk about is how she took away from you. You took away from all the love and support that was probably being poured in you. You was sitting back receiving all that, and now you mad because your toy was taken away. You didn't take care of your toy. You don't nurture your toy. You don't water your garden. You wonder why your flowers are dead because you don't water your garden. He talk about consistency as number one. Of course he want consistency. He want you to be consistent with him all the time, but then he sit over here talking about, well, I don't know if I can return the favor though. Boy, get out of here. That's part of the problem in relationship. A lot of people want what they don't want to give. They know what they want. They got a whole list of the things they want, but they're not willing to give it in equal. Because as Chris says, men are up here, women are down here. So in his eyes, he can receive from the woman, but he ain't got to give as much to her. Go sit down. He need to stay an entrepreneur because there's no way he could be in the workforce working for a woman or working beside a woman. Don't nobody want to hire Chris. And the business relationship between Aaron and Jody, that's just what it's going to be. Aaron is over here delusional, talking about when he first saw Jody, it was intoxicating. He said the embrace from the hug was what? Warm. It ain't warm because she don't even call herself warm. Aaron, he done create a whole fantasy world in his head. Is that a wig too? Is his wig on too tight too? Jody said, I didn't like the date because he was trying to over impress me. Jody didn't like the date because she didn't get to dictate what the date was. That's why Jody didn't like the date. Jody likes to dictate, give instructions, tell you what to do, and then you do it. Aaron came up with this idea all on his own, and Jody was like, I don't like this idea. Just like, I want to sit right there, move over. Jody want to be in control at all times. And if you plan something for her and she didn't co-sign on it and it ain't something she want to do, or she ain't gonna like. When she sat there and told that man, you having emotions don't do anything for me. Basically, I don't care what you care about. I don't care how you feel. How can you be with someone when they tell you your emotions don't mean anything to me? They don't move me one way or the other. Whether you happy, mad, sad, angry, whatever, your emotions won't move me. Because in the end, what she's saying is your emotions don't matter. Just like Chris told Sandia the same thing. Your emotions are irrelevant. The only thing that matters is what she wants. What matters to her. His don't matter whatsoever. Aaron said he has a hard time with failure. He said he gonna make a relationship work no matter what. That's probably why he don't want to come out this closet. Because he said, nope, I'm gonna make it work as it is. I'm gonna make it work. Even if it ain't what I really want. Ugh. Chris, Aaron, Even the therapist had to say, I need to talk to Jody by herself. And so Jody said, what, I'm the problem one? Yeah. That's the only problem. Aaron got some problems too, but right now we need to deal with yours first. And she left her and said, do you see a future in this relationship? Where do you see yourself in 2 months? And Jody looked at her and said, I don't know. Girl, you know, it ain't nothing but going back on online dating. Just like she'd been on that computer all season long, up there in that room on that computer. She probably already back online meeting somebody else. Let's be real. Jody don't care about nobody but herself. Period. Point blank. Anyway, that's it, y'all. Lots to talk about. I guess I think next episode might be the last one because everybody down on one knee. So let's see who says yes. Let's see who says no. And let's see who says this is the end of the road. But that's it, y'all. I will talk to you later. Bye.